Hey, my loves. So last week I was in New Orleans, and while I was in New Orleans, I decided to have a palm reading. It was very informative, and she pointed out a lot of things that I have worked on and needed to work on. And one of the things that she talked about was forcing a fit. And I had to sit on it for a few days and realize that I have been forcing the fit, and I have forced the fit over the time of my lifespan. But honestly, what has that done for me? I have definitely forced the fit when it comes to wanting to um, wanting to be accepted by the people in my life, all the way um, as far back as high school. I have always forced a fit. I have always wanted people to see me. Always wanted people to accept me, and always wanted people to include me. And I am still working on that. But what I realize is when it comes to people at this point, if it's not natural for me, if it's not reciprocal, if it's not just easy, I am no longer forcing a fit. And in me being able to recognize and distinguish between those people that are a fit for me and those that are not a fit for me, it has made my life easier. You not being a fit for me does not mean that I don't love you or care for you. It just means that we may move different. We may move different. But those people who I know are authentic, is natural, it just, forcing a fit, it's just not going to work. It's draining, it's exhausting, it's overwhelming. And I am learning not to force fits anymore. If it doesn't come easy, it's not meant to be. So when it comes to people being in my life, there's no forcing it. Not anymore. Not for me. Not at this mature age. Forcing people to love me, to appreciate me, and to accept me? Never again. The second thing I realized is that I also up until recently forcing a fit for situations. Also the same. If it's not coming easy to me, if it's draining, if I'm stressing out over it, I realize now it was not meant for me. It wasn't meant to happen. In my life, when things happen, the huge things that happen in my life, it just happens easily. I don't go looking for it. Like, for instance, when I first opened my brick and mortar, it was a thought to open my own business, but it came to me. Someone texted me, I called the number, I had a key in less than a week. No forcing the fit at all. Now I find myself trying to trying to save my massage business and cultivate a my coaching career. And I have chosen not to force a fit, because at the end of the day, what is meant to be is gonna be. What is meant for me will happen. So in situations, I'm not forcing a fit. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna stress myself out. So no forcing the fit when it comes to situations. And if it doesn't feel right, I am walking away from it without any guilt, unapologetically. not forcing a fit. The other thing that I have been thinking about since that reading is forcing a fit with myself. Sometimes I find myself trying to place myself in places and spaces that I don't feel comfortable in, places and spaces I don't necessarily want to be in. Not that I don't necessarily need to be there, because some of them are business related, but I know who I am as a person. I deal with social anxiety. I know what I can handle and what I cannot handle. So I have to recognize when I am forcing myself to do something that is not aligned with who I am as a person. So I'm not going to force myself to fit in any way. Another thing is, I'm not going to force a philosophy. I'm not going to force a religion. I'm not going to force a mindset that does not align with who I am as a person. So I am just, if it's going to stress me out, if it's going to drain me, if it's not coming to me easy, if it's not coming to me easy, I'm not forcing a fit. Is it worth it? What is the outcome? So forcing a fit. Why are we out here forcing all these fits and finding ourselves in situations that is not making us happy? It's not aligned with our purpose. Not where we want to be or who we want to be with. I'm no longer forcing a fit. And if you are struggling with forcing a fit, you don't have to do it by yourself. Having a life coach and having coaching sessions would definitely help you come to some clarity and some understanding as to why all this time you've been having this pattern that you haven't even recognized of forcing a fit. Love you guys.